Hey, welcome back to the Monday Minutes episodes. This is a two-part series where I'm going to be reviewing some of the key takeaways from Brendon Burchard's book, High Performance Habits, which was published in 2017 and has become one of my favorite sources of motivation. It's a great book. It's extremely dense. There's a lot of key takeaways there. And it really is one of my main inspirations for writing my book, Raising Capital for Real Estate. If you're not already on my mailing list, go to cashflowconnections.com, sign up, because when we launch this pre-sale, you are going to get an amazing free goodie, which is a video of closing strategies for high net worth investors. And I'm telling you, you're going to really like this presentation, especially if you're in the process of raising money from accredited investors. You're trying to have people invest with you just from a phone call for $50,000, $100,000, $250,000. This video is going to help you a lot. So let's jump into some of these high performance habits. So in the last ones, we covered 1 through 3. So we're starting with number 4 now. And this is increase productivity. And we're really starting out with a bang. So I am obsessed with productivity. I like everything to be optimized and systematized. And when it's not, it really drives me crazy. But one thing that Brendon, the author of the book, talks about is that your focus should be driving towards productivity on prolific quality output, QPO, specifically in the area that you want to be driving the most impact. See, this is why the clarity portion is so important, which is number 1. You can't really measure your success at all if you don't have a clear vision about what you're trying to accomplish. Then everything else really stems from there. And I'll tell you what, this is something that is discussed in the book that isn't really talked about as frequently as I think it should be, which is saying no, what the implications are about that. Again, one of the reasons it's so important to be clear on what you're trying to accomplish is that it shows you when you need to say no. Now, the truth is, if you're just getting started, your main goal is likely going to be just to fill up your calendar, which is fine and understandable, and you should do that. But once you start to get your calendar full, you need to start really optimizing your time because your time has become valuable. You have to start saying no. And there's a great quote from Warren Buffett about this, which is the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. And this is just because their time is hyper optimized on the things that they love, things that they're passionate about, the things that add a lot of value to others, kind of their quote, unique ability. Now, along the lines of productivity, funny enough, the biggest source of productivity is also the biggest source of distraction. The internet, technology. At our fingertips is the answer to the world's most challenging questions, as well as all the cat memes and people doing awesome things videos that your heart can desire. So your relationship with technology has to be optimized in order for you to have a high level of productivity. So always be cautious about that. There are many apps out there that can limit the amount of screen time you have on other apps, especially social media apps. So contemplate that, look into it for yourself. And if you feel like this is an area that you're struggling with, I definitely suggest downloading some of those apps, using them, and monitoring that thing closely in terms of the time that you spend. High performance habit number 5, develop influence. This is such a good one. I'm so glad that he put the time in to survey people to actually find out that this is such a key part of their success. You have heard us interview a lot of high performers on this program. A lot of them are extremely influential figures, both inside and outside of real estate. And so the thing that Brendon talks about in the book is that in order to really go to that next level, you have to inspire others around you to push the limits of what they're capable of. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, you have to actually be living an inspiring life. Point blank, period. There's no way to get around this, especially in this world of, quote, internet influencers. Everyone is viewing the space with a skeptical eye, and rightfully so. You can't lead others to something that you haven't accomplished yourself. You can't write a book about making money in real estate if you haven't made money in real estate. If you aren't in good shape, you can't get other people to be in good shape. It's as simple as that. So start with that. That's going to get you pretty far, to be honest. Now, on the other hand, if you already are living that inspiring life and you are pursuing your own goals and you are constantly obsessed with growth, which inspires other people, you can do some things that can really emphasize the positive impact you can have on others. Now, one of those ways is charity. That always helps not only the people that you're actually dedicating your time and energy and resources towards when completing that charity or giving that charity, but it also inspires others to do the same. That's actually a good segue, because I think the reason that charitable works inspire other people is because it challenges them to do more. That is such a key factor for developing influence. Challenge other people, challenge them to do their best, and do so in a way that motivates them to do so for the long term, right? So you don't want to burn them out over a 15-day period. You want to inspire them consistently for years. Go read about anyone who's worked with some of the great leaders of the world. They'll never say that every day was a walk in the park. Very much the opposite. I mean, Google Kobe Bryant School of Greatness. You'll find an interview where Kobe talks about his work ethic and trying to inspire that same work ethic in others. And it's a remarkable interview about what it takes to get the best out of his team. And obviously he was coached by someone who was one of the best in the world at doing that very thing. All right, high performance habit number 6, demonstrate courage. Now, in my opinion, we're really cooking at this point. I talked about this briefly, episode 136, how to attract high buy-in clients. Very similar component. Basically, you have to stand for something. If it's not popular, it actually requires courage to do so. You have to take a stand, particularly in the face of fear. You need to be strong in your beliefs, and that will attract people, inspire people, and really inspire that in themselves as well. And the thing that Brendon talks about in the book is that this isn't something that can be done only occasionally when it is advantageous to do so. It's basically a long-term play, because in order for it to be effective, it has to be what people think of when they think of you. Now, it's no joke that we're living in this age of, cancel culture, where people are worried about if they say the wrong thing, they're going to be taken out of context, and this has the potential to damage their career. In certain industries with certain setups and certain structures, this is 100% accurate. But not if you create your own tribe, not if you're attracting the right people to your business. For the people that you want to inspire, they're looking to you as a leader. Maybe they aren't looking at you yet, but the way to attract those is to just be yourself. Whatever it takes, right? Even if that means it's going to make you stand out. Even if it's challenging to do so, or it's challenging to talk about, or it's challenging to put out in the public eye, that's the thing that's likely going to show that you're courageous. I think the key takeaway here is meeting those challenges head on. If you can program your brain to see challenge as an opportunity to demonstrate courage, then you're really starting to see through the matrix there. You start to feel blessed by every moment of adversity because you start to become invincible to it. You start to realize that it is an opportunity. I frequently talk about some of the failures that I've had, some of the challenges that I've had to overcome, and I've had hundreds of them. And once you start to realize that you can overcome those challenges and that they're really just stepping stones to get you to the next level, it's an amazing feeling. You really start to feel invincible. And this is true even more so with some of the more challenging things that someone can go through in life. It takes even more courage to overcome those things. I frequently talk about the fact that I threw a networking event that no one came to. Well, that was very, very challenging, but it's nothing compared to some of the harder things that can take place in life. But the thing is, I'm better positioned for those more challenging things because of the fact that I've viewed those previous challenges as a stepping stone. All right, so this brings us to the close of this 2-part series, Monday Minutes, where it's been a review of high performance habits. Make sure to subscribe to our mailing list and Cashflow Connections. Like I mentioned, this pre-sale thing is only going out to the Cashflow Connections email subscribers. So let's say you're an investor. You only have a subscription to the ASIM Capital website. This is not going to be sent out to those investors, only to Cashflow Connections. Go to cashflowconnections.com. Go ahead and sign up. We'll send you some ebooks and you'll be on our mailing list. And then when this book launches, you'll have access to this pre-sale information. All right. Have a good one. All right, listeners, you know the routine. This show is all about learning, making wise investments, and protecting and growing your capital. So if you're interested in these topics, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Of course, if you've already enjoyed a couple of great episodes, don't be shy. Leave a review. It really helps the show's visibility. And lastly, if you're an accredited investor and you're interested in learning more about our investment opportunities, the types of deals that I personally invest in, go to asimcapital.com. That's ASYMcapital.com. Thanks a lot.